Well, hi everyone, Shaun here. Welcome to Take Charge of Change. Well, at Take Charge of Change, we're trying to post content on a fairly regular basis on different things that we should be thinking about to help us negotiate change effectively. Change in our lives and challenges are just a part of being human. And so if we can do things in advance of hitting some of these transitions and changes so we can negotiate them more successfully, I think it's worthwhile taking a look at that information and seeing if we can integrate those ideas into our life. Now, the area we'll talk about today is a really important area, and it's the aspect of maintaining our balance as we get older. As we get older, our sense of balance does deteriorate unless we work on it. Like any other muscle, we have to work on it, build it to try to maintain it. One sad aspect of balance is that many people, as they get older, will often fall because of the lack of balance that causes fractures and injuries, and sometimes accelerates the rate at which they have to be institutionalized or go to long-term care facilities. So one bad fall can really impact that person's trajectory from a health standpoint. So it is, I think, important to begin working on our sense of balance and trying to maintain it. Now, I recently took up cyclocross as a way of trying to work on my balance. It's a crazy biking event, and I'm not very good at it. I have to work on my technique. I've done a couple of races this year, might do another one. Got a lot of work to do, but it is a great way of working on my balance. So what could you do? Well, it could be taking up biking for sure. It could be when you're at the gym. Practice walking the lines. Try to balance along that white line and see how your balance is, and keep working at it until you get better. Another example is just standing with your eyes closed and just try to balance. Even better, maybe try lifting a leg up and seeing how long you can balance with that one leg up in the air. Now, you want to be careful. Don't push it too hard. But those are two examples. Now, I'm going to share with you an interesting example. Even for those of you that aren't cyclists, I've begun using my rollers. I have some rollers for my bike. It's an indoor training device, and you might get a kick out of my attempt at using these rollers to work on my balance. It's more challenging than it looks, or maybe you'll look at it and go, yeah, that's super challenging. So let's take a look at that right now. So what I'm going to try to do is to use different hand positions on the bike as I'm trying to stay on these rollers, and not to crash by moving my hands back and forth. So I'm going to go from the current position to a position with my palms down on the bars, and then in the drops as well. So as you can see, I'm a little bit tentative with this. It's going to take a while to get super comfortable, but it's a good way of forcing me outside my comfort zone and work on different hand positions. And ideally, one of the things I'd like to be able to master is reaching down, grabbing a water bottle, drinking from it, and then putting it back down in the bottle cage. That would be a real challenge. So now I'm going to show you the angle on the side here. So this will give you a better sense for a bit of the movement of the bike on the rollers, and I'll go through the different hand positions again from the side angle. And again, I've got my cleated shoes on, so if you end up wiping out, you have to try to cleat out of that pretty quickly. When I first started working on the rollers, I didn't put my bike shoes on until I felt more comfortable, but now it's a little bit more comfortable for me, but I still have a lot of work to do to get my technique and challenge myself a little bit more. Like I said, what I'd like to do is do the bottles. As well, it'd be awesome to be able to just sit up and just ride without any hands on the handlebars, which would be a challenge as well. Another benefit to riding the rollers is just the concentration. You can't break your concentration for a minute. You have to always be focused and pay attention to what you're doing, because if you don't, you could be off the rollers pretty quickly. So it's a great way of just staying focused. So that's my review on the importance of balance. So try to find something in your life that you can use to work on your balance, whether it's walking the white lines, whether it's standing and closing your eyes to try to balance, or something as crazy as riding the rollers. That's certainly not for everyone. I love cycling, so it's something I thought I'd try to integrate into my day-to-day activities. And so that's the one takeaway. Start working on your balance. Don't take it for granted. It gets worse and worse as we get older, so we have to fight against the deterioration of our balance.